In September of 2022, Uber was hacked. Here's what happened. The target was an Uber driver. His corporate password had been compromised and was available on the dark web, and we'll get to that part later. But the attacker attempted to log into the Uber corporate network using these stolen credentials. The login attempt triggered a multi-factor authentication request, which the driver rightfully ignored. Then came the second phase in the attack. The attacker continued with multiple login attempts. He was relentless. And this type of attack is known as MFA fatigue. It's also called MFA spam or push fatigue or authentication fatigue. MFA fatigue is a type of cyber attack where the attacker tries to overwhelm and exhaust the target with relentless multi-factor authentication requests. In this case, reports are that the target resisted the attack and ignored these multi-factor authentication requests. But then came the third phase of the attack. The hacker contacted the victim directly, claiming to be the Uber IT department. He sent a text message that said something to the effect of, "Hey, this is the IT department. We've noticed some weird and probably annoying activity going on your account. Don't worry, it's just a glitch in our authentication system. Just accept the next authentication request that comes through, and that will correct the glitch and the problem will go away." And that's where they got him. The target accepted a request, his corporate account was compromised, and from there the attacker rooted around on the network to see if there were other vulnerabilities that he could exploit. And there were. According to Uber, the attacker accessed several internal systems. Investigators and reporters referred to it as a total compromise. The attacker exposed email, cloud storage, and code repositories to security firms and to the New York Times. So let's dive a little deeper into MFA fatigue. Where does the hacker get cracked passwords? Well, there are databases of cracked passwords available on the dark web. In this case, it is suspected that the victim's cell phone had suffered an earlier malware infection that exposed password information to the bad guys. Worried about your own passwords? There is a service that you can use to see if your passwords are in one of these databases. It's a site called Have I Been Pwned? There is a link below this video, but use that site at your own discretion. I'll warn you, the site is legit, but validating your own active passwords by typing them into a website is not without risk. So once the attacker has a current good password, the MFA fatigue attack can start. Like most attacks, there are certain people that may be especially vulnerable. Uber drivers fit that profile. They work odd hours when bars close, late at night, or when flights arrive at the airport early in the morning. They might be tired or distracted, and they can't turn off and ignore their cell phone. So repeated MFA requests are especially irritating for that group. The target did the right thing by ignoring the MFA requests. The critical misstep was not validating that the text message from the IT department was authentic. We want to help you to not be that guy, but I don't want to put too much blame on the driver. There were vulnerabilities in the Uber computing environment that were the real reason why the attack was so successful. So what can you do to protect yourself? Don't approve an MFA request that you didn't initiate. If you believe your password has been compromised, reset it. Don't trust calls from strangers claiming to be the IT department. Even if the caller ID looks legit, caller ID can be spoofed. If you are contacted by the IT department, take the time to validate that the call is legit. Call the IT department back on a number that you know you can trust. Enlist the pros. If you think you are being attacked, contact your IT department or EXP Technical or another outsourced IT support provider for help.